This is my BMW M4 G82, and today we're finally installing a full wide body kit on the car. 10 months ago, we traveled across America to purchase my dream spec BMW M4 G82. With ambitious goals, we set out on a journey to fix the design flaws of the G82 and turn it into the legendary 3.0 CSL homage, a $1.3 million factory street car from BMW M. We started this build series off by installing a 3.0 CSL front bumper and fenders kit, which is 1.5 inches wider than the factory car and even gave the car more horsepower with the install of front mount intakes. After that, we tackled the challenge of DIY vinyl wrapping the entire car ourselves in Porsche's gloss Miami blue, and it came out absolutely amazing. We found that since the front end body kit was significantly wider than stock, we needed wider wheels for a proper wheel fitment up front, which we installed thanks to Forged Light. It's safe to say these wheels are one of the highlights of this build. This gave the car a more complete presence, but the next problem emerged, which is the fact that the front was still significantly wider than the rear. And even with the install of West Coast Euro's carbon fiber bumper extensions, the rear end still looked lopsided and didn't match the front. So after weeks of research trying to find a company who makes wide body kits for the rear, just as we're about to give up, we finally found a company who just released their wide body kit specifically for the G82. After a ton of back and forth communication, we were lucky enough to have the company send out their brand new wide body kit, and it just arrived today. Inside this big old crate is the last and final piece for the full wide body kit on this car. Technically, the full car is going to be wide body after installing these. So huge shout out to SS Tuning for sending out the rest of this kit. Let's go ahead and open this thing up and see what we're working with. Oh, yeah. I got a pretty big feeling this build's never going to be done. But we're getting there. We're getting close to done, if that makes sense. So here they go. A huge shout out to SS Tuning. They make proper wide body kits for various manufacturers, including BMW. And before I open this thing up, I want you guys to actually check out the website because they just released a full wide body kit for the G82 series and G80 cars. And if you guys are looking for a kit in which you don't have to cut anything on the car, you don't have to turn your car salvage to make it wide body, this is perfect. This is a fully reversible wide body kit. It's the first time I've ever seen that on any BMW M car. So the fact that they're offering this as a fully reversible kit is absolutely amazing. So go ahead and check out SS Tuning on Instagram. All their links and everything will be in the description below. As you can see, I threw a few photos and videos on the screen of what their full kit looks like. In today's video, we actually just have the rear kit that we're gonna be putting on the car since the front kit is already widened. So we only need to widen the rear, like I mentioned before. And this kit is literally perfect. It's gonna help us achieve that full wide body look on the car. Extremely good finish. You see how smooth the edges are. Kind of get an idea of the design. And on the back side, look at the fit and finish. It's like perfect cuts. So you obviously see we're going to be adding a lot of adhesive on this side. So this will be the inner side and the outer side. It's definitely important to know this thing is super lightweight. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. So first of all, it's really good. We might have to remove this again so it can tuck under there. This will be under here. Wedge it in there. Oh yeah, we got a lot of aggressiveness going on here. See, the first flare is done. I want to slap this thing on. We have a whole bunch of the strongest edge pieces actually fine. Even though we'll likely be taking this kit off over time, especially if we're going to be changing the color on the car. But until then, this should keep this kit on the car for sure. Now we just got to put the lower piece on, then we got to bring the wheels out. So we got to take this car somewhere, throw on some wheel spacers. Alright, so we had the fender flares on the M4 right now. So the next thing we need to do is add those wheel spacers to make that wheel fitment more proper, because right now those wheels are tucked inside that wheel well. It doesn't really look good at all. And yeah, I don't even want to show you guys too much of it until we just head over to the shop and get those spacers installed. But before we head over to the shop, we get to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Beemer Tech. If you guys saw in the last episode of our build series, we installed the Alpha 1 amplifier from Beemer Tech, which vastly improves the sound system inside of any BMW, but especially the G20 and G80 series. Now I must say, the sound system from factory is really good, but we've been running this amplifier for almost a month at this point, and I gotta say, it sounds like a legit music studio inside of this car. It legitimately feels like I have subwoofers in the trunk of this car now. But not only that, the overall sound system has been vastly improved and just sounds super good inside this car. Because not only does it fine-tune your sound, you can also have Beemer Tech wirelessly tune this to your liking. So depending on what kind of music you listen to on a daily basis, they will adjust and make the sound most optimized for that type of music. They also sent out their DIY Essentials kit. When we took on the project of wrapping this car myself, this kit had everything I needed to remove crucial parts of the car, like the tail lights, door handles, the trunk liners. I think if you own a BMW and you like working on the car yourself, this is crucial to have this inside your trunk at all times. Most of the parts that you need to take your BMW apart are right here in your Essentials kit. You'll also see that they offer a lot of other cool features and upgrades to your car, including performance tuning, coding features, Apple CarPlay retrofit. You can also upgrade the interior lights on your car, and a lot of other cool upgrades and features are on their website. So I highly encourage you guys to go head over to the links in the description. And when you use the code AO-Beemer Fam, you'll get yourself a free DIY Essentials kit when you purchase something over $650, and an additional 5% off with the purchase of an Alpha 1 amplifier. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get on the road, head over to West Coast Euros, and throw on these spacers and see how this wide body kit is looking. All right, guys, join us on the road. M4 sounded good. So we're on the way to West Coast Euros, new shop. We're gonna check them out. Now that we got the fender flares on the car, now it's time to add those wheel spacers, because we got to bring those wheels out to match the flares. Right now the wheels are tucked, just like how, if you guys remember, when we added the front bumper kit and the front fenders kit, those front wheels were tucked inside that wheel well, and we were complaining about that for at least a month. So now that's the case for the rear. So hopefully these 18mm spacers that we have should get it better to flush. In worst case scenario, we might just have to add wider tires, and we could go for like beefier spacers. But the problem is, especially like being in Southern California and Los Angeles, I need to have wheel locks on this car at all time, just because I don't really want to deal with the kind of inner city vibe. They have to be stressing out over, you know, somebody snatching wheels and stuff like that. So having wheel locks for me is an absolute must. And 18 to 20 mil spacers that we've been running on the car is literally the biggest I can find. So if anybody knows of any wheel spacers that come with extended wheel bolt locks that are bigger than 20 mil, let me know. Well, otherwise we're just gonna have to run the 18 mils, and then we're gonna have to get wider tires in the back. So right now we're running like 285s in the rear, and we're likely gonna go up to 305s. So in combination with the 285 to 305, and then running the 18 mil spacer, and given the fact that the fender arches in the back are just 1.1 inches wide, it should actually be more than enough. The wheels should be flush with the rest of the car. So we're gonna pull up here shortly, see how the guys over at West Coast Euros are doing, check out the new shop. More importantly, get these wheel spacers installed, and really start wrapping up this build. We finally made it up to Speed House Automotive, and you can see already they have a few F87 generation M2 cars out here, both in Alpine white. Looking really good here. But as we come inside, you can see they have my M4 parked up. Kind of looking horrendous because we got to widen that rear wheel gap. So that's what the guys are going to do here today. Throw those spacers on or lay on the ground right here. You can see the flares are actually looking pretty good, but we just got to fix that gap as much as we can. We might have to get wider tires, but we're going to go ahead and see. Back here in the shop behind the garage, this is where West Coast Euros handles all their operations in this nice office space. They got this nice red leather back here too. They also have another lobby out here for Speed House Automotive. So it's nice to see two companies combined into one. And they have a nice 340 out there too, properly modded, wheels, diffuser, tuned, all that kind of stuff. It's always awesome to see the boys leveling up in life. It's definitely motivating to see this kind of stuff. So as you can see with the 18mm spacers, it looks a lot better than before. This is something we can work with. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the M4 is parked up for the most part clean and looking really good with the new SS tuning wide body arches in the rear. I mean, come on, especially from the back. It's crazy to see this car sitting here in the exact same spot when we first picked it up and added the exhaust. And it literally looks like a completely different car. The color, the forged light wheels, the full West Coast Euros body kit on the carbon fiber, not to mention the Jeeks and Aero Carbon front end kit. Unreal. And now these SS tuning wide body arches. I mean, come on guys, what do you guys think? I really do think it complements the G82 design really well, especially how this fin comes out back like that, and there's a nice little slat in there as well. The only thing I'm thinking about this is now that we have this that black little slat in there, it kind of makes me want to wrap this reflector since it's red, so we have kind of like two slats is what it looks like. Do you guys think I should keep it like that, or should we go ahead and wrap the reflector so it kind of highlights more of that wide body arch? What do you guys think? But man, just standing back here, this car looks absolutely amazing. And obviously, elephant in the room, even with the 18mm spacers, we could go a bit wider on the spacers, but again, I could not find any extended wheel locks that are larger than 20mm spacers. So if you guys know of any extended wheel locks for the G82 M4 that surpass 20mm, please let me know and I'll get those ASAP. Otherwise, the only thing to fix this, since we're not gonna get any more wider wheels, is to get wider tires, which we're gonna do anyway. These are actually 285s in the rear, and we have 295s in the front. So we need wider tires regardless, and I think we're gonna go 305, maybe even 315 in the rear, and that should bring that rubber out even more. I mean, but either way, it looks so good. And then we can also see the nice carbon fiber from West Coast Euros that we added goes really well with the wide body arches. We also have their carbon fiber diffuser on there as well. Wow, that bike sounds good. Yo, that sounds nuts. Oh my God. But yeah, on top of that, we also have the Valve Master full titanium exhaust. So you can see it's got our name Beemer Fam down there as well, full titanium. And we also have Mastery Art and Design downpipes and front mount intakes as well. We DIY wrapped this car, and the vinyl wrap was sent from Miliotone. So this is Miami Blue gloss. It's a Porsche color as well. So all in all, this car is coming together. We're obviously not done yet. We still have things to do to the rear end. I'm kind of debating if I want to do a more aggressive diffuser. What do you guys think about that? And then we also could do the CSL taillights. I feel like that's a must. And we also could throw like a big proper style wing on this. Obviously we have the nice ASM tuning high kick style spoiler, but we could go even more aggressive, especially with these arches. It's almost begging. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. We've already committed to the super aggressive look. So I think we're gonna have to add a bigger wing. But I will say, with these wide-end arches and all these carbon fiber pieces on the side, it really does make the high kick spoiler look really good. Especially if we come over here to the profile view of the car. I mean, that just looks uniform. It looks appropriate. But also I think with these arches too, it really highlights these Forged Light FL1 series wheels. Like I mentioned before, these are ½ inch wider than stock in the rear and a full inch wider than stock in the front. This is my first like in-depth build like this. Obviously the F82, we built that car as well, but it was not nearly as in-depth as far as modifications and work and time to get that car done. We did space mods out, but we really could have built that car in like a month or so. As to where this, you guys and myself have seen it in so many different configurations just to get it to this point. Obviously it was Portimao Blue before, it had the stock bumper, and you guys really have been here throughout the whole journey of the car, and we still have more stuff to do. I mean, we don't even have carbon fiber mirrors yet, and that's not to mention on the interior. Obviously we have the carbon fiber bucket seats, but the only mod we've done on the inside of the car is that Carbontastic LED steering wheel with the shift lights. And we could also do a lot of stuff on the inside as well. We could do M Performance armrest. We could even do maybe some roll cages, rear seat delete, or we could just keep it fully functional as is. And that is definitely my favorite part about building this thing so far, is we're just having fun with it. And that's all you guys should be focusing on with your cars, even if you don't have one yet. Whenever you do, whether it's motorcycles, anything automotive, or anything you do in life, as long as you're happy with it, that's really what matters. I feel like we live in a world where people just care too much about what other people think. They want to just follow the next person, do what everybody else is doing. If you guys really want to do something and not everybody's doing it, try it. I think it's going to be fun. As long as you like it and enjoy it, that's all that matters. I just really can't get over this angle from up here on the rocks, got the views, and then boom. I mean, just look at it from this side too, with the mountains in the back. Oh my gosh. The buckets too. I think, man, we on to something here. But this gives you an idea if you were riding behind the car on the road, what it's gonna look like. It's definitely wide body, definitely wider than stock. But I love how big the exhaust tips are, how the carbon comes out and matches the wide body fenders as well. It's just, man, at the rear end now, I'm happy with the rear end. So please don't hold back, guys. I want you guys to let me know what you think about the M4 state as is. Obviously, we have more mods to do. We've got more stuff coming in the works. But now we can really take this thing to meets again, really enjoy it, do some more POV driving for you guys, and kind of just be outside with it. So if you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Check us out on Instagram at Beemer Fam. And I cannot wait to finish this build for you guys. See you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.